Okay, hi everyone. I thought I'd do something a little bit different as far as content. As I know I make PoE content, but also like RPGs in general. Um, anyway, I downloaded the Anthem beta last night and I thought I'd provide some commentary or, my opinion of where the game's at. As far as my gameplay goes, I'm not gonna spend $80 or whatever the price tag is on that game. As far as I'm aware, um, it's got a weird staggered sort of release schedule. And like looking at the reviews and everything else, like the trailers look amazing, but it's not there. Like I wouldn't rate it as a game that I would actually play legitimately every single day. As far as content, the worlds seem very bare. Now, looking at, I think I was reading, I can't remember where I was reading it. I was looking at my news feed on my Google news feed, and apparently, they're saying, oh, there's going to be more enemies in the end game content. Realistically, looking at it, it's a 50 gig demo. Why can't it have the same amount of enemies in the end game as what it's got? Because what it's got the same amount of enemies that in the demo that they're saying that it's going to have in the end game. As far as I'm concerned, it's basically a baseless promise. Now, as far as the content goes itself, it's got potential, but it's a console port. Like even playing it with a friend of mine, you can really tell straight off the mark that it's a console port. The menus are clunky, they don't work, the matchmaking system's convoluted. You've got to turn it to private to be able to get it to sync without going public, and then potentially if you're stuck in the public mode, it then boots you back into like a preload menu bullshit thing, or it resets you back to where you go, and then it drops out. It's got server issues, and I read a report yesterday that basically said, we're going to release more servers for it. Well, realistically, why the fuck should they be releasing more servers for it when it's supposed to be a AAA title? And you would think that a company like EA would have plenty of server capacity and have the bandwidth to be able to run games at their maximum spec so that everyone can play. In particular, because they know who is going to be accessing the game. So as far as I'm concerned, even on release, I think they're saying like there's some content that's not going to be coming out on release again. I can say with confidence, and this is since Battlefield 5, because even to voice my opinion on Battlefield 5, that was a complete flop. Now, I think I played somewhere in the vicinity of like 500 hours of Battlefield 3. I played about 300 hours or 400 hours of Battlefield 4. And I've been playing Battlefield since Battlefield 2. And 2142. And God forbid they could give us a 2143 for fuck's sake. But aside from that, this game, it looks cheap. And to be honest with you, if you're going to play a third-person, mobile shooter with, sword actions and everything like that, play Warframe? Because, you know what? Like Path of Exile, it's free to play at the base, and you can choose to do microtransactions. Now, in this, as far as I think, I didn't look at it in great detail. I believe there is an MTX store, and if there isn't one in there now, there probably will be one, because they're going to want to monetize that. Now, this is another entire issue that I'm tired of in games, is why the fuck should I have to pay $80 in Australia, because we don't get to pay $60 for a game in Australia. We get choked $80 to $110 for games in Australia because the currency exchange market fucks us, and because basically devs believe, what do they call it? Distributors believe that we should pay more money because we're in Australia, for whatever reason. Everything's more expensive here. But aside from that, why the fuck should I have to pay up to $100 for a game in Australia, and then on top of that, I don't even get access to all the content in the game, and I have to pay further to be able to get more access to that content? And this is where my biggest issue is with Anthem. It will end up the same way as every other EA game, because EA has shifted from a company that makes games for the gamer and has shifted to a company that makes games to make money. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with it. I'm not pre-ordering any more Battlefields, because Battlefield 5, as far as I'm concerned, now I wouldn't say I'm a professional Battlefield player, but I've played enough Battlefield to basically say I know my shit when it comes to Battlefield. And Battlefield 5, I'm sorry, was not a Battlefield game. And as far as I'm concerned, it might as well try and put itself in the same category as Squad, but it's still trying to appeal to the casual gamer, and I have no fucks to give about that. If I want to play a hardcore shooter, I'll actually go play Squad. I'm not going to play this crap that, they're peddling for Battlefield as a hardcore game or whatever. And let's not even go into the political aspect of that. Being a gamer, let's go back five years, let's go back 8 years. Let's go back to COD 4, let's go back to all that. There was no politics in games, and I feel like I'm sure that there's something else in Anthem we don't know. But this as far as Destiny, like if we want to compare this to Destiny, I wouldn't compare this to Destiny. I would compare this to the Division pre-patch, and the Division pre-patch was pretty boring. Like it just wasn't that good. As far as storyline, I didn't go into any robust gameplay into the storyline. There's just no point. Like as soon as I picked it up, I was like, this is a boilerplate template game. Like flying feels like shit. Like honestly, flying feels like it's made for console. Like the preset configs when you go in are not optimized for mouse and keyboard, and then all the menus are built for console UI, built for a console config. It's a console UI, and even the options like. When you're in speech, you have to hold down 1 or hold down 2 to make speech. Speech options. That's basically that's a cross port of hold down A or hold down B or X or B on the Xbox controller. Like, why do I want to play a game that they're peddling as a masterpiece and whatever for PC when it's ported for console? Like, I'm a PC gamer. I've got consoles because I've got consoles for convenience sake. But, if you're going to make a game for PC, make a game for PC and port it back to console, because you can put more content in a PC game than what you can put in a console game, considering consoles are running, 1 or 2 gens behind in their hardware. So, as far as I'm concerned, if anyone watches this, My overall summation of this is wait for the game to come out and see if it's actually worth its metal. I would say this is going to get 8 out of 10 reviews by reviewers, but the games are actually going to go in, and this is another disparity in the industry right now, is games are actually going to go in, play the game and go shit. But reviewers will give it a 10 out of 10 or an 11 out of 10 because it's a masterpiece, because lo and behold, they've been given promotional material and they've been essentially paid off to give us that opinion, so that companies can market games a lot more effectively. Basically, critic scores are essentially a marketing tool for businesses in this day and age. They are not an accurate summation of the quality of the game and the gameplay of the game. Now, you can put whatever physics engine or whatever into it, it doesn't make a difference. I can play Median XL on Diablo 2, and I can guarantee you that is better than a vast majority of other RPGs that are out on the market, simply because Diablo 2 had content and gameplay value. And in that, the actual community that has created that mod, and that's not just peddling that mod, the community that has created that mod actually believes in the mod and believes in the game that was actually developed. And that you can see it in the content that they create. Companies like EA, I was reading something yesterday that they're worried about their profit margins. You know what? Here's my last point, and this is what I'm going to direct at Anthem, because I don't think it's going to be a good game. And on prelim, just playing the demo, I wouldn't suggest playing it. And if people want me to actually provide content, I'll hop back in and I'll show content, but you'll see it in most other reviewers and everything on YouTube. If you want to sell games and you want to make money, make good games. It's that simple. Don't make shit games. And I don't know how hard it is for companies to understand that. Stop worrying so much about your profit margin. If you create a good product and you believe in that product and you don't shit on your market, then you will make money and you will be successful. Aim to create products that actually go the distance, not just a 12-month reskin like we're seeing with FIFA every year, which is dropping in sales, and Call of Duty, which is a stagnant game. Because Call of Duty, back when it first came out, was not a game that came out every 12 months. It actually, I think COD 4 was around for 2 years before they created the next Call of Duty. I was thinking it was Modern Warfare 2. And then Modern Warfare 2 was around for a little bit before they started chucking out the next COD. So, just make better games. Like, I don't know what is hard here. Anthem is just a big drum up. Like, it's just... it's going to be a great year. There's going to be some really good games. There's going to be some really shit games. I'm not going to say Anthem's a shit game. I don't think it's a shit game. I see potential. But what I don't see is longevity. I think you'll clear the content in the first, 30, 40 hours if that's what you get from it. Like Witcher 3, I think I played for 140 hours. And like, just because finding the armor sets was fun. Like, and there was that content in there that made it challenging. I don't think that Anthem is going to be the same. I would be surprised if it is. Like, we're talking the difference of EA and CD Projekt Red. Like, Cyberpunk is going to be amazing, and I'm excited as all hell for Cyberpunk. But I'm not excited for this. Initially when I saw it, yeah, and there's nothing really out at the moment. As to whether I'll buy it, I don't know. I don't really want to. And I would probably wait until it goes into a budget bin. I don't know how many people are going to play it. If it's anything like Battlefield 5, then there weren't a great amount of people to play it with. Yeah. As far as being just a gamer, I work full time. I don't want to come home and play shit. I don't want to waste the little time that I have playing shit games. I want to play games that are worth my time, i.e. why I upload content for PoE, because it's a company that actually cares about people. It's a free game. I think I've spent somewhere in the vicinity of $1,000 on it for those bloody expensive ass packs, and I wait for those packs to come out. And you know what? I'll probably spend another $1,000 on the game before I'm done. Or another 2,000-3,000, whatever, because you know what? It's just really good. It's a really good game. I come home and play like 1,800 hours of it. I study and I work full time and I do everything else in between. I live a really busy life, but you know what? That game makes time for me more than I make time for that game. And I would rather play a game like that than play a game where I get gouged a massive price ticket at the start and then basically get asked to spend more money on tiny little MTXs that don't do anything, or if they really want to fuck this goose, is put in basically content that I can just buy straight off the mark, which is what EA is notorious for doing. Let's look at like Battlefield 4 and 3. You could literally buy weapon packs that give you access to like all the weapons in the game, like straight up for like $7.49 or whatever. That's buying power in a pay to play game. Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. I've been going on my rant for 13 minutes, but that's my opinion of Anthem. Pretty much in summary, buy it at your own risk. Don't have high expectations. Don't walk into this having high expectations. After playing the demo myself, I wasn't very impressed. It's not a bad game. I'm not going to slander it for being a bad game, but I don't think it's a great game. And I don't think it's going to be worth spending 1,000 hours on at all. I very highly doubt that you're going to spend 1,000 hours. You might spend 50 hours in this game. You're going to get bored of it very quickly, and you're just going to chuck it in your I don't feel like playing it, or you'll hit end game and you'll be like, there's not much there. It'll be like sort of like Destiny 2, where it'll just be grindy for the sake of grindy, but no real progression. So I don't expect a Mass Effect out of this game. Just because BioWare makes it doesn't mean it's going to be great. Anyway, that's my 10 cents. I've never done content like this. If people want to see my opinion on this more, I'll do more content like this. I have a lot of opinions on video games. I've been playing video games for the best part of my life. So, I don't work in the gaming industry. I used to work at video games a long time ago, but not anymore. If people want to see more of me going on a rant like this and being like, this is shit, rah, 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 or I'll tell it like it is. Like, I'm not worried, yeah. But, yeah, buy it. I wouldn't pre-order this. If people want my true opinion, I'm not going to pre-order it, and I'm going to wait until more reviews come out of this game. I've only played the demo. I can't give it a full review because I've only played the demo. That's not fair to it, but should I be fair to it? I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, if you like this content, if you agree with me, write in the comments that your own opinion. And yeah, if you like this content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll look at making more content like this where I provide commentary over this stuff. This is my opinion. This is, don't construe this as this is fact, rah, rah. This is my opinion of this particular game. Whether you agree with me, it's okay if you don't. You might love this game. It might be for you. It's definitely not for me. Anyway, like and sub, and thanks for watching. Bye.